Is that what it sounds like?
Is that how it goes?
That opening theme song is...
Dude, I work out to that opening theme song.
Yeah?
Like, you can find the Japanese version on iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
It's much longer and has like a really cool like dip breakdown part. It is one of the best things to work out to ever.
So that, I mean, it's some pretty kick-ass metal.
Oh, yeah.
There seems to be a lot of metal in like opening songs too.
Yeah. Anime starts off like real metal, gets you into it, but then like the end credits is always this like softer.
We'll get to that too. I think that they're like in anime, they look at it and they're like, what's the most intense music we can put behind something?
Right.
And it's like, just like blaring metal.
Just shouting like hero.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should introduce our guest. We're talking about One Punch Man today.
We're a couple idiots watching anime.
Yeah.
But we when we do that, we like to bring in someone who
knows what they're talking about. A fan of the show.
Oh, yeah.
This is Aaron Powell.
How you guys doing?
Aaron, what's your deal? You're a comedian.
I'm a comedian, cosplayer.
I saw your One Punch cosplay. It was great.
Thank you. Yeah, I got a lot of flack on that online because I didn't shave my beard. I was like, yeah, I'm One Punch Man for a day. I'm not going to be a kid.
I mean, the hairlessness is pretty... it's pretty crucial.
It's pretty big deal.
It's crucial to it, but I didn't do all my sit-ups and push-ups.
Yeah,
know,
100 a day, apparently.
100 every day.
Every day.
100 sit-ups.
I mean, it doesn't seem like that difficult of a workout if you're trying to be the strongest man on earth.
I've done it. I've done the One Punch Man workout.
Yeah?
It is the worst.
Well, I think the 10-kilometer run is probably the hardest part.
No. The 100 squats will kill you.
Oh, okay.
The 100 squats will kill you.
You're doing them all in a row?
You do it all in a row with like
that would
very
be pretty
little
fucking
rest
rough.
in between, and like you'll wake up the next day feeling like you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So if you
I
want to learn how to get swole,
watch this show.
Yeah.
We went into this completely blind. Neither of us had watched One Punch Man before.
And I intentionally looked up no information about it either. I knew nothing going in. I don't even know what year this came out.
The show itself, I think it came out in like 2015, 2016.
Oh, so it's pretty recent.
It's pretty recent.
I thought it was a lot older.
I could be wrong. Someone will send me a message if I'm wrong, but
they will.
It's fairly recent actually. The manga actually came out, I want to say like mid 2000, like the 2010s.
Okay.
Wow.
So it was developed
like
from a manga.
Right. It was developed from a manga. And the show itself follows the manga pretty faithfully actually too. It's not.
And why would it go away from the quality material? I'm sure that's included in the manga.
It doesn't go too far away from it actually. It's basically about a guy who's looking for a job. He's unemployed and he finds you see the first kind of villain of the show, which is hilarious. It's like Crablant.
Who is all crab on the top,
but not crab in the
bottom. Just a man wearing no pants on the bottom.
Wearing tighty whities on the bottom. He ate a lot of crab and turned into a
yeah.
It seems like in this world it's very easy for things like that to happen.
Yeah. So I wrote down first what I assumed One Punch Man was about. And that was a superhero who fights crime one punch at a time, extremely strong, but would assume the fights would be boring compared to Dragon Ball Z because of his strength.
Oh, we were dead wrong about that.
Yeah.
You kind of, yeah.
And then what I heard about One Punch Man before going into this over the few years that I guess it's been out was that the general consensus I've gotten from it is that it's a satirical anime that uses tropes, of which I would be unaware of these tropes, for comedic effect.
Yeah, it does. It's like it's a show. It's a show in itself that like it has its own story, but at the same time, there's a lot of tributes to other animes within the show itself.
Even visually, I noticed.
Visually.
Well, the very first villain in episode 1 looked like
Dragon Ball Z.
Purple Vegeta.
They went. And there is a purple Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super. There's like a filler. There's a filler episode where like Vegeta looks like this is like jelly monster, I guess. But it looks like Vegeta. It looks exactly like Vegeta, but it has like this purple aura and stuff. So he's fighting. I think it's Vaccine Man.
Yeah.
And it's like the Earth was just pissed off that the humans were doing all this. He goes through this whole long spiel about his origin, and you'll see like through the series, One Punch Man Saitama. He gets bored when people just ramble around.
Yeah,
he will
straight
cut people off. Like, look, dude, I'm not trying to hear all that.
Yeah.
One Punch Man seems like, although the strongest superhero we've seen in anime so far, I only have
very relatable.
I only have like Goku to compare it to or whatever, but Yeah, he seems like an everyman who's just tired of people's bullshit.
Extremely relatable. Like personally to me, I feel a personal connection because he's so good at something that he's looking for some kind of a challenge.
Yeah.
And he can't find it. Yeah. And he's frustrated through it. Like a lot of the conflict in the show is taken away because he can beat literally anybody with one punch, and he gets super bored with it.
Yeah.
You go back to his first fight with I cannot pronounce his name correctly. Crablante or
Crablante or something?
Yeah, Crablante. That was the last time that he was ever really challenged in a fight. He had to think of ways to beat him.
Yeah.
Everybody else, he's just looking at him like, all right, if I punch him here, it's done.
Yeah, and that's what my first like worry was with it.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, well, how do they stretch this out? But I guess we should let everyone know that in case you want to pause it now and watch the episodes that we watched, if you haven't seen it before, or if you have and are a big fan and want to rewatch it or whatever, or know exactly what we're talking about, we watched episodes 1, 3, and 5.
Yep.
So 1 was called The Strongest Man. The second episode was called The Obsessive Scientist, and the third episode, and the fifth episode was called The Ultimate Mentor. So I had some general questions before the episode talk. You already answered when it was released. It's pretty recent.
It's fairly recent, yeah.
In the timeline of all anime.
How many episodes total have there been so far?
Right now, it's only on one season with I think
really?
12 episodes. Yeah,
So we can catch up and like
you
be
can
on the
catch
next
up
one.
very quick.
Yeah, this is on Hulu. That's why I watched it.
It's
I watched it on
Hulu
Netflix.
and Netflix.
Did you watch subs or dubs?
Hulu has come down hard on one side of that the debate, and they have it subs only.
Yep.
Netflix subs only.
Netflix subs only.
Yeah,
Which I like to. Everyone's always arguing subs versus dubs.
They didn't give you a choice.
Yeah, well, I say after watching dubbed versions of Dragon Ball Z and having to watch subs for One Punch Man, I prefer subs because it makes me concentrate on everything that I'm watching.
You have to watch the show if you don't already speak Japanese or understand what they're saying and stuff.
Yeah.
You have to watch the show because you have to pick up what they're saying.
There were points watching this where I would be watching the action and would miss something they said and would go back to see to make sure what they were saying.
Yeah, and it wasn't like throwaway dialogue. I don't know. Like, so we're illiterate with anime. The only other anime I've watched is a couple episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and the dialogue in Dragon Ball Z is mostly unnecessary, I'd say. Just a lot of describing what you're already seeing.
Yeah.
The dialogue in One Punch Man is like, this is actually like, it's a well-written show.
Very well
It's very
written.
clever.
It's really funny.
Not a lot of throwaway lines in there.
Yeah, it's a hilarious show because
Yes, it is.
it's one of those superhero shows that could actually happen if people actually had superpowers, you know?
Yeah, remind me of like Hancock or like The Tick.
Right.
Shows like that.
Yeah, The Tick there's Tick references in this as
there is?
well.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
there are like very subtle ones, but you'll see them. They all the heroes have funny names or whatever. They're named after they don't get to pick their own superhero name. Mm-hmm. Like they basically.
So Blonde Cyborg isn't going to be the guy's name?
No.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what Genos' was, but there's one guy whose name is just hilarious. It always sticks out to me. I want to cosplay him one day. Tank Top Tiger.
Is it exactly what I assume it is? Tony the Tiger in a tank top?
No, it's just this bro-y guy with blonde hair and a tiger print tank top.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's just like the guy who's writing all their superhero names is very lazy.
Basically.
In the world, not in the...
One Punch Man is not his superhero name. His real name is Saitama. His superhero name is Caped Baldy.
That's what he said his name would be, though.
Yeah.
So he got
well, they gave it to him basically this is what he was named at, but he was like, all right, screw it, I'll be Caped Baldy, you know.
Oh, it's a great name.
He's like, I'm doing this for fun, and he's not having fun.
So when does the name does the term One Punch Man get uttered in the show?
Not at all.
Wow. So that's just for us.
Yeah.
They're living in a world in this anime where he is not called One Punch Man.
They're going to say it at some point in season 2, and everyone's going to clap.
Everyone's going to look at the camera.
They said it. They said the thing.
They did it. So we get a bit in episode 3 of a backstory of how he gained his powers, but how, outside of this workout regime, how did he get that strong? Is there any explanation in the manga, or
no? That's
it.
That he can't explain it. There's a scientist in the story, Dr. Genos, who's trying to figure it out. And he's gotten really close, and then the season cuts out, the manga cuts out at that point as well. But it's no one knows, and all he's saying is, no, I did my exercise routine
Yeah.
every day for 3 years.
Yeah.
All my hair fell out. I'm super strong, and I'm looking for a challenge. That's
So are the manga and the anime now at
pretty
the
much
same exact
everything's
point?
caught up. There's no Game of Thrones going
yeah,
on
so
here.
it's
like-
basically going to be Game of Thrones going to season 2.
Yeah. It's basically the manga the writer for the manga, he's still writing that as well, and I think that's the big hold up with season 2. Like he hasn't come up with new content.
Well, it's going to be like that. He must feel a lot of pressure because of how well received this is.
Right, because it's for something new to come out like this in anime and manga and stuff. It doesn't have that long lineage, but at the same time, it's just as popular as like your Dragon Ball Z's, your Sailor Moons, like your Titan AEs. All 3 of those that this makes reference to.
Yeah,
you know.
And that's what I liked about this one is it seemed very, very, very accessible to someone who wouldn't have ever watched an anime.
Right.
You turn this on and it has like a perfect balance of comedy, emotional stakes, and ultra violence.
Right, like
So-
you can see all of that with like how One Punch Man is drawn, how him specifically is drawn compared to everyone else. He has a very simple looking look until he gets serious, and then he's like all sharp and defined.
Yeah, I did like how they would go back and forth from him looking like a dope.
Yeah.
Which he does look like a silly character. But then when he does close-ups or anything else, it really like...
He's all like angular. He's got a strong chin, but like on the outside, he just looks like an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a lazy piece of shit.
And also, he looks absolutely nothing like the head that was underneath that hair.
No,
beginning.
that bothers me
like,
too.
wait, what?
That bothers me too. Like he does not look like he would look.
Yeah,
like,
something's going on
with himself going bald and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I don't know if that
Something
was
else happened to your
oversight or if
face.
that was on
Yeah.
purpose.
Another
I need to
thing,
know.
another thing I observed in episode 5 when he's taking the tests.
Yes.
He's shirtless. I'm like, oh man, this guy's like got a great body. Like that costume is so unflattering.
Yeah, like the costume.
He
is,
looks like a dork. He looks like no definition at all. I'm like, what?
no, and I think the costume is supposed to be like loose on him.
Yeah.
I think that might be it.
Like he just, but that's another what I got out of that is that it shows another point that he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
he doesn't.
He doesn't need the costume. He's just like
No.
probably found stuff lying around the house.
There's episodes where he's like fighting completely naked.
Yeah.
So like, he's just like, look, I'm doing this for fun. He only took the test when he found out that he could make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he does seem very short on cash all the time, at least in the episodes we watched. Lives in kind of a small, I guess probably a pretty big apartment for Japan.
Yeah.
They're kind of known for the
Well, now he's got a
super small ones.
We're getting out of order, but now he has a tenant paying rent.
Yeah.
So that's good. So I had 2 more questions before we get into like what we saw in the episodes.
Okay.
Can he control his power, or is it if he punches someone, that's it? It's full force all the time, or can he just like get someone to where he knows that they'll just be knocked out?
Now that's the thing. He can't control like how hard he punches someone or like the consistency in it. However, his base strength is still super duper strong. Like there was one episode during the series. You limited me to 3. I was gonna give you this one as well too. There's one episode he's fighting like a ninja. And he just holds his arm up, and the ninja like doesn't stick the landing, and kind of like lands slowly on his fist with his crotch.
Oof.
And they show in slow motion like how horrendous this punch was, straight to his nuts.
Jesus.
So
Like-
if he's not doing forward momentum,
If he's not doing full moment, it's still gonna hurt.
and how about his kicks?
His kick, you know what? He doesn't kick. He
Well, there you
doesn't.
go.
Well, in his dream in the was it the
Second episode?
first?
Or-
I think that that was in the pilot. In his dream,
Oh yeah.
he was doing a lot of kicking, and I couldn't tell if the kicks were like stronger or weaker or anything.
Right.
But he was definitely choosing to kick.
Yeah. So basically, if he punches, that's it. But he can have restraint.
Yeah,
on
he can
doing that.
Right, because like when he does fight, it's not like he just ends the fight straight up with just one punch straight away.
He likes to have some fun.
Yeah, he will toy with somebody, and he
Yeah.
has different kinds of punches. He has like his serious punch, which is the punch of all punches. He has the consecutive punches, which is like when his arms go all crazy,
Yeah.
and he punches you a couple times, and like he's like the Balrog of anime. He can only he only punches for the most part.
Yeah.
Not too much on the kicking.
So let's get into episode 1 into more detail, I guess. We already talked about how Netflix and I guess Hulu as well ended the war on subs versus dubs. It is subs only.
Yeah.
We talked about the guy who looks like he's straight out of Dragon Ball. I said, let's see, the next note is One Punch Man.
Vaccine Man has a point.
Vaccine Man sounded like a hero, actually, when he started talking. He's like, look, you guys are killing this planet.
Yeah, that's what
I think he deserved at least a conversation.
Right. I wrote down the villain's backstory is actually pretty great. So far, I'm siding with him, and he's dead.
Yep, he's gone.
And he's dead that quick. So in the beginning, it says, like, this is what I wrote down. It seems like it's normal for this world that this is happening in, because there are other superheroes who have fallen to this villain, the one that's attacking in the beginning, and then One Punch Man just casually indicates that he's like, well, I guess I'll go. And then there's a flashback.
Yeah, to 3 years prior, where he's basically like out of work. He's looking for a job. He's a businessman, I guess. He's a millennial. He's gotten his bachelor's degree, and life isn't how it seems. And he runs into like this guy who's a half crab, half man, wearing tighty whities, saying if you find a kid with a really big chin,
and he did have a big chin.
Yeah, I was. As horrifying as crab tighty whities man was, the child he was after was more shocking, I'd say. That boy had an ass,
and he's
for
a prankster.
Chin. Yeah.
Yeah. We find out that the nipples you see on Crabline were actually drawn on.
In permanent marker. And I can't hold a towel.
He's like, I can't hold a towel with these hands.
So not exactly an angel, but I did appreciate One Punch Man justifying why he decided to defend the child. It was due to Japan's low birth rate.
Yeah.
It would be wrong to let a child die.
I mean, that's like right out of the gate, you get like some of the hilarious writing that like fits perfectly. And it's not like joke after joke after joke. And I don't want to say they're subtle, but they're like just passed through on the show with no like, but look at the camera or hey, this is a joke. It's just like the dialogue just runs through, and it's up to the viewer to realize that this is funny.
It's very self-aware sort of sense of humor. Like, we know this is ridiculous.
And then like that action that he took to save that kid actually has a lot of repercussions throughout the show. Like that's like a big cause.
Oh, the butt kid comes back?
Huh? No. The bucket, he doesn't come back, but his grandfather is the head of the superheroes. So his grandfather started that whole thing after his son got saved.
And the grandfather died?
His grandfather is...
someone in the family got killed, and that's why he started it?
Yeah.
Like
someone else in the family got killed, and the grandfather had used all his money to start the superhero association, where you have to get tested, you get graded, and you get put in like class and ranks and stuff.
Yeah. So I wrote it down that like he's apparently badass, but he looks like a dork. Terrible costume.
Yeah.
It looks like he put it together at home. He looks like Quail Man, or like the superheroes from Seattle that dress up and roam the streets.
Yeah.
Like they all wish they could be One Punch Man, but he's the one that's just like, I mean, I guess I need a costume.
It's like I guess I gotta have one. So
yeah.
And by the way, he murders that crab in a surprisingly horrifying way.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna knock him around a little bit.
He didn't even
punch him.
No,
he didn't punch him.
First fight involved no punching. He instead ripped the crab's eye out and then pulled all of its internal organs out with it.
Yeah, so that was one of the other things I wrote down was I didn't expect the animation to be that good.
The animation in this show is very crisp. It is extremely good. Like it's very good animation for just any show right now. Like going out, I love the animation in it. And then like the cinematography in it, if you can have that in animation, which you can.
Yeah.
But it cuts from him pulling out all of his crab insides to him.
The little boy's reaction to it?
To him at the grocery store buying crab.
Yeah.
You know?
I loved he's pulling it out and they cut to like butt chin boy and he's just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Yeah, I think like we're used to especially since this is a modern show, when you look at modern cartoons in America, they look like they're done in like a flash animation thing, or that it's usually like the simplest way possible where people will walk into a scene animated but then just stand there and their mouths will move.
Right.
Yeah.
It just seems, I guess, lazier. Where with this, you can tell that there was so much passion and work put into it.
Animation has gotten extremely lazier for like kids because like I watch cartoons with my niece sometimes, and it's literally like it looks like someone's holding up a a cardboard box on
Yeah.
like a stick and just moving it around. I'm like, wow, this is cartoons. I'm like, Tex Avery did a lot more than this, but
Yeah, well, they had like, 90 people working
True.
nonstop.
I mean, the shittiness began in the 80s. If you go back and watch like G.I. Joe and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like
the second season of Ninja Turtles, I always bring that up.
they'd like fuck up the colors.
Yeah,
like,
the colors are messed up.
like
The voice actors would like go all
It was
off.
a mess. They would just send the cells off to like Korea with no instructions at all.
Or if you really
Like,
want to
figure
see,
it out.
if you really want to see shitty animation, the 5th season of X-Men: The Animated Series, where they had outsourced it to the Philippines.
Oh my God,
was
really?
Absolutely terrible.
I don't know if I ever got that far.
I don't think I got that
I wasn't
far.
like aware of seasons as a kid.
It was the
had-
last season.
I only had the
okay.
one VHS that came for free when you ordered from Pizza Hut.
Got you. Yeah, I remember that one. I got that
Yeah.
one too. Batman the Animated Series, loved it.
Yeah.
However, does not really stand the test of time when
Really?
it comes to animation. It's on Amazon Prime Videos, and I was watching it the other day. It was like some episodes like, what?
I rewatched it like 2 years ago, and I thought it was fine because of the fact that animated shows now
Yeah.
aren't it's even a step above what we have now.
It's still great
Yeah.
compared to what we have now, but when you go back and watch it, you like, wow, you really think that like I enjoyed this because I was a kid and I accepted it for what it was. Now as an adult, I feel a little bit different about it. That's how I feel about Ninja Turtles 3. You know, when I was a kid, loved it.
Yeah.
Now I'm like,
Has
this
samurais in it.
Yeah,
Like,
time travel and all that
yeah.
stuff. Now I watch it, I'm like, this has samurais and time travel.
Well, and I think what surprised me about the animation in this too is that going into it, my assumptions based on what I had heard about it is that it was a very tongue-in-cheek, funny anime that kind of like not makes fun of other animes, but that like uses like I said, like uses the tropes to do that. And I was like, well, I wonder if there's going to be a sacrifice in art quality because it's just a comedy, or just because of that, and there isn't that.
The art budget on this was phenomenal and very well used because it's visually beautiful to look at. Like the fight scenes, just like any like pan of like the cities and stuff, it's just like, wow, this is really, really good.
Yeah, it enhances the comedy because you're super into what you're watching.
Exactly.
And they use that different style on some of the like intense shots where it's like looks like colored pencil or crayon.
Yeah,
that looked awesome.
It was really, really well done. When the Crabman shows up, I was like, is every villain going to have a ridiculous backstory that they just tell willingly?
Yes.
Crabman is the goofiest thing I've ever seen. Also, apparently not giving a shit is the greatest defense against villains in Japan.
It is.
Yeah.
Because like they get so offended when he doesn't care. He's like,
but I feel like anyone on the street would just be like, there's another monster attack. Yeah, please take
It
me.
does
I'm tired
seem
of
very
working.
commonplace.
Yeah.
And it seems like
The villains want to get a rise out of people.
Right.
That's the whole thing because they're villains. They want people to be scared.
But-
and when you're not scared, there's no point.
there's no point.
Japan in this world seems like a very dangerous place.
Yeah.
Like an entire city was destroyed
Yeah.
in the beginning of the episode.
And they talked about it as if they were talking about a baseball game.
Yeah, like, oh,
They were
City
like,
B is gone. Oh,
City
well.
B is destroyed. In other news.
Yeah.
While watching it, I was like, I feel like we've accidentally skipped 30 years of anime history and are now watching the ultimate version of what anime could be, which might be doing ourselves a little bit of a disservice.
Yeah,
going
well, because
back.
it's like, I mean, they made this very, like, appealing to outsiders and I think even Westerners. Like, the fact that it's, like, I don't think, they never use the word superhero, but, like, that's a very, like, American concept
Right.
that is definitely being adopted here, where I don't think you usually see that exact concept in, like, Japanese art as
in
much.
Dragon Ball Z, they're not. I don't know enough about it, but I don't think they're considered superheroes. They're just like aliens or whatever that are fighting, and it's commonplace. Here, people want to be superheroes, like in America with Superman and Batman.
And more
stuff.
times than not in Dragon Ball Z, they don't even the people on Earth don't even know who's really protecting them or anything. They think it's
the plebs.
No. There's a character called Mr. Satan in Dragon Ball Z who takes credit for everything. Like
He's the one with the sick mustache.
Yeah. He's also like, yeah, Majin Buu, we're gonna go out here and just that's how he sounds.
Yeah, this one does seem like it's appealing to be a superhero. And people want to be that instead of being born
They're
into.
like K-pop celebrities.
Yeah, the superheroes are treated like celebrities around town and stuff,
Yeah.
and like they're signing autographs and shaking hands.
Yeah. I wrote a bunch of notes about how great the comedic timing was, how like everything seemed to make sense easily. Mm-hmm. Like they weren't pushing the jokes too hard. They just let them out there and let them be as good as they are. The next villain, the giant guy, was like looks like Attack on Titan. Didn't know if it was a reference or not. That
was a straight up reference to it.
Yeah, my question about that guy, when you have a being that's that big and ripped, how does this ripped villain that is this big stay in shape? He cannot go for a run.
Nope.
He can't lift. And they also make a reference to him having a huge dick because they block it with an entire cloud.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
It's just blocked by a cloud.
He's just walking by a cloud.
He's like, hey, can you put some pants on?
Well, like I think he had like just turned huge, right?
So he wasn't prepared for it?
No,
like, he was already in peak shape, and then he got the strawberry vial of potion or whatever.
He was trying to be like the strongest ever, and his brother was a scientist. And he created this like super duper steroid, and he was like, "Oh, I made it strawberry flavored, so it goes down easier." And then he just drank it. And
that was the selling point.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
And he was like, "All right, now I'll drink it."
So like, if this guy was to maintain his shape, like, what does he do?
Like, he's destroying cities, doing push-ups.
But that would only last like a week.
Yeah, I feel like gravity would be like weird, hard enough.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's like wearing like weighted ankle things when you work out or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how. Because like when you think of something like Attack on Titan, it's just like, all right, well, what are these guys doing to keep in shape?
Well, spoiler alert, he doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, because he's dead.
Everyone in this show dies.
Yeah.
You're not spoiling anything by being like, the villains die.
Don't get attached to any villains in this show.
I think that's one of the reasons why the guy doesn't write so quickly is because he has to come up with a new villain with like a whole backstory every single time, only to have that villain die in the next season.
Yeah, so that was my note towards the end of the episode is, it is insane to me that they keep coming up with so many creative villains just for the first episode. Like they're just like burning them out. Like the Hot Rod Man.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And it was hard.
I'm Hot Rod Man. I love custom cars.
Yeah, so they were both talking over each other. So for me, it was like two sets of subtitles on top. So I missed his explanation because like the voiceover just kept going during that, but it was it was basically just
he liked cars.
I love cars.
Yeah, I love that too though, because One Punch Man isn't even paying attention to him.
No, he's not.
He's just zoning out.
In his head, he's like, I wonder if I can make the market because they have a sale on. Because he will stop a fight quicker if he's like, oh, the grocery store closes at 10 o'clock. Yeah. I got to get groceries tonight. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, that was my question going forward, and we only watched 3 episodes. I was like, do they keep this up through the whole season? Are there how many villains are in this one season?
There's a lot of villains, like a lot. I cannot begin. We'd be here another hour and a half naming all of the villains from this show. Because,
and are they all like unique?
Everyone's like unique and different. There's like a white supremacist clan and stuff in there. Yeah, and he goes after them simply because they were bald and they were stealing his look.
Wow. So he doesn't care about anything else.
He doesn't care about anything. He's like, they're making me look bad because like people thought that he was with them.
Yeah.
So he was like, nope, gotta take care of that.
Yeah. I also wrote like this is when he's battling the big, tall, muscular guy.
Yeah.
Hilarious moment where he's obviously his brain didn't grow with him because he's like, he's on your shoulder, get him.
He killed his brother.
Yeah, just
kill
like
that
nothing.
man on your shoulder. Okay.
Yeah. And then the show's funny and all, but thousands of people are dying in every fight, right? Like you have to assume that like just thousands, like one footprint is hundreds of people.
Killing hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And like
everyone in that supermarket.
So like what's One Punch Man, does he just not care about the citizens? Is he in it just for himself to please himself?
He does take care of the citizens. He will make sure that other people are safe. Like he won't fight at the expense of an innocent person.
Because sometimes it feels like he's delaying the punch, but meanwhile he's accidentally killed like 5,000 more people.
Right, but like I think the Superhero Association takes care of like the collateral damage and stuff too. Which is war profiteering if you think about it. But
well, in the ethically
in episode 3, they do the Dawn of Justice method, where they fight inside of a giant empty space.
Oh yeah,
a very large room.
Very large, very very large room.
Yeah. So
I love the first episode where he finally meets his match, and there's like this epic fight where he's actually like having fun and shit, and then turns out it's a dream.
Yeah.
But then turns out it was
They're
a
real.
dream. It was a dream inspired by some shit he could hear coming from the street
Right.
with some just like very low tier villains.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
was.
like,
it
God
was.
damn it.
The juxtaposition was hilarious on that
I'm
because
the
you look
king
at
of
it
the
and
underworld.
because you know how by
and
that
they
point
just escaped. Like, we're sorry.
all right,
Yeah.
my bad.
by the time that comes around, you know how powerful he is.
Uh-huh.
And so when you see, like, I'm like, oh man, he finally has a challenge. I felt good about him having a challenge.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the shot of, meh, and I was just like, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like it just makes the last villain look so pathetic.
Yep.
After him building it up in his head, that's fantastic. But then you get the end credits, which is
I need to look up the lyrics to this song.
the opposite. Yeah, the lyrics weren't listed on this one on my subtitles.
Yeah, me
but
neither.
Just the opposite of the entire show.
Oh, yeah.
where it just is the nicest, friendliest little tune.
It just slows you down and just cools you out. And it's like, wait a minute, was I watching the same show?
Yeah,
Like,
the show's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Planned perfectly. And then to top it all off, there's a post-credit scene.
yeah,
what?
there's a
Yeah,
post-credit
you didn't
scene.
watch those?
No.
There's post-credit scenes in almost every episode.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, let's go to the next one.
And then after
Shit.
the post-credit scenes, there's like almost like a Dragon Ball thing where it's like, next week, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. And he like sets it up for the next episode. But the post-credit scenes are awesome.
Some of 'em
it's
are-
just like a Marvel movie.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it does like the last, like, whatever the result of that entire episode is, it's like another
Uh-huh.
little beat at the end.
Like when Genos like shows up at his apartment, he's like, "All right, I'm moving in to learn from
yeah,
you."
you didn't
He's
get
like,
you didn't even see that then.
No, I just assumed that he showed up in the second episode. I was
No.
like,
No.
who's this guy?
No. At the end of the third episode, he shows up at One Punch Man's apartment.
Oh, no, I did not see
yeah,
it.
there's post-credits.
with all of his stuff, and he's like,
I live with you now.
I have to learn your secrets, so I'm living with you now." And he's like, "No, you're not." And he just slams a large wad of cash on his. I have rent money. He's like, "Did you bring your toothbrush?"
Oh, man.
You missed out on the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't be the only one. So I found the English translation of those ending lyrics,
Okay.
supposedly.
The ending lyrics.
Yeah,
All right.
the soothing end song
Yeah.
where you know everything's okay.
Yeah.
So, hey, hurry up and come home, won't you? On nights when my sighs make the crescent moon sway, when I close my eyes, you're all I think about. Feeling the need to see you, feeling like crying, feeling romantic. May these feelings reach you. But you see, I've always known a lot about how hard you're working. The one I love is so strong, they make me worry. Show your weak side only to me. I'll find you sooner than the stars. Come back home soon. Even if we're far apart, our feelings nestle together, so I can tell you you might be lonely right now. Call for me. I'll come flying. Yes, that's what I want to say. But I don't want to be a bother to you. But you see, I really want to see you. I really want to cry. I know you're doing your best. I understand. See, you're this dear to me, so I'll wait for you. You get
Is this foreshadowing to a relationship that he has?
There's very little romantic relationship that he.
Maybe
has.
this is a foreshadowing to season 2.
Maybe
Because it sounds like there's
That's a
someone out
straight
there who
up-
loves One Punch Man.
But again, like animes do that. They'll have like the hard rock song bring you in, and then they'll have the slow cool down at the end of
But
the
it
show.
has to mean something.
Not always. Sometimes it's just put in there. Like,
I don't know.
They're speaking for us.
Yeah.
We love the One Punch Man, the viewer.
Yeah.
We want him to be safe.
Yes.
Wouldn't he just come home for once?
I don't know. I
That's my thing.
think that this is foreshadowing for season 2, and we're gonna find out who this songwriter is.
Because I think we finally got a release. I'm gonna check my phone, see if we have a release date for season 2.
Maybe
of it.
season 2 he's fighting for love.
Yes.
Maybe that's his
the
motivation.
true passion. He needs another passion. That's his problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's not getting his passion through like finding challenges through fights.
Yeah.
At all.
He's
Like,
too strong. He's like a businessman who's every business it becomes super successful. You need a couple failures, like a relationship.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
There's relationships are a good way to fail.
Yeah. So the second episode we watched, which is actually episode 3, the obsessive
This one features
scientist.
a villain who's recurring. He manages
Yes.
to like live, and
Yeah.
so he stays through the whole season.
He knows how to not engage. He pretty much stays through pretty much the whole
Yeah.
season.
He's more of a
he has-
mastermind.
I think he
Yeah.
realizes by the end of this episode that he will not defeat One Punch Man, and that he would rather stick around and learn his secrets to try to build
Exactly.
something
Yeah.
that could potentially defeat him.
Exactly.
So all of a sudden, One Punch Man has a sidekick
Yeah.
named Genos
Genos.
Yes.
Genos,
or
he's
Blonde Cyborg.
he's about 17, 18. He
How old's One Punch Man?
One Punch Man, he's about like in his mid 20s,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say. Genos, he has like a cybernetic body.
He's like Iron Man.
He's basically like a cybernetic, like Iron Man type.
So how did he get that?
He was found and experimented on as a kid.
Oh, it's fucked up.
So he just grew into it.
Yeah, they just basically and he's like had like remodels and all that stuff.
So how do they find each other?
They find each other through. There's another villain in town. This one can control mosquitoes, and it is this like there's a
the perfect crime.
Yeah, she can control mosquitoes, and she's like sucking blood from everybody, and they bring to her to make her stronger. It's a hilarious scene.
The queen mosquito.
Yeah, there's a hilarious scene where One Punch Man is at home watering his plants, and a mosquito comes in, and he tries to like swat it down. You hear the largest slap on his shoulder, and the mosquito flies away because it's strong enough. And he's chasing this mosquito. He's like frustrated that he can't kill this thing. Yeah. So he's running through town. Genos is already fighting Queen Mosquito, and One Punch Man is just running down the street trying to spray this mosquito down, and just happens into the fight. Oh, he's like, oh, hey, what are you doing? He's like, you have to get out of here. This fight is going on right now. This city's been evacuated. He's like, and he's just not concerned about that at all. He's like, oh, did you catch that mosquito that I was trying?
Nice. So that's how they met.
And Genos,
was there any kind of like power struggle between them? Because it's very apparent that he is like
not even like the thing that happened to Genos figured he couldn't beat the mosquito lady, and he tried to self-destruct. Then One Punch Man moves him out of the way, punches her, and he's like, wait, how'd you do that?
I've been here for hours.
He's like, I've basically been here all day trying to do this. How did you do that with just one punch? He's like, oh, it was just simple, whatever, man.
What, are you not as strong as me?
So then he asks, like, he
basically starts following him, starts stalking him and stuff. So he's just like trying to figure out, all right, how are you this strong? To which when they get to like later on in the episode in the big empty room, big empty room, he's like, all right, you guys want to know my secret? Fine, I'll tell you. And everybody's like on pins and needles, like, oh, sweet, he's about to tell us.
Yeah.
And he gets the most intense face ever, and he's like, here's my secret. 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and a 10K run every day. Now,
also, keep an eye on your heating bills. Save money. And
don't turn on your air conditioner or your heat. Eat 3 meals a day. Yeah, banana's cool. Banana's cool. And everybody's looking at him like,
there's no way.
Oh, hell no. There's no way that's it.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Because you've tried it. I'm sure other people have tried it. But I thought that was a point in the show where I was like, you know what? This show sends a pretty good message to people that are watching it.
It sends a good message. Like, you know what?
You can be strong. Because realistically, if you did that every day, which I would never be able to do it, but if you worked yourself up to that point,
you'd be in
real good shape.
Great shape. And
just running 10 kilometers a day, you're going to look great.
Right. Yeah. And which is only about 5.6 miles for those who don't know metric. But like the thing is, he says another line that gets passed. So it's my favorite line of the show. I think it's what hooked me into the show. He said the best thing about human beings, the real superpower of human beings, that we have the ability to change ourselves.
Yeah.
Whenever we want.
Yeah.
So he was like, I saw something in myself. I saved a kid, and I just dedicated myself to just becoming stronger. So something like this couldn't happen to anybody else. So I was like, oh, okay.
But if that creature is the experiment of what a human could evolve to, although he does look dumb with his stupid palm tree head.
Yeah.
I hope that's not what the evolution of humans looks like. But doesn't he have the chance to change how he is as well?
And that's another mystery of him, because he doesn't know how he lost all of his hair. He just says, oh, maybe my exercises were just too intense that it just all fell out.
I put that on the first episode in my notes, was just like, okay, so this is the opposite of going Super Saiyan. Right. Your hair shoots up and changes colors, it just falls out.
I don't know how far you've gotten into Dragon Ball, if you've kept up with it, but the Super Saiyan transformations, there's more hair added to it. There's different colors now.
Now there's like Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan or some shit.
We
played Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z or Fighters, and that was our
SSGSS.
Yeah, that was our latest like foray into the Dragon Ball world.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Rose, Super Saiyan. Yeah, I'm not kidding. That is a thing.
They fight in Palm Springs over brunch.
Super Saiyan. Yeah, this it's a Super Saiyan for every day of the week at this point.
Jesus. Okay, first of all, I love that his sidekick guy, what is it? Genos,
yeah.
Runs like Naruto.
Yeah. With his arms straight back.
Yeah. So that's a reference
That's a reference, yeah.
See, I'm getting better.
I spotted that.
I said also, I love that he mocks long storytelling by telling the ape guy to sum everything up. One Punch Man has apparently no time for exposition.
Nope.
There's
He
just
gets bored very easily.
In the manga, he explains that he's like, if you go on for more than 20 words, I just tone out.
And that's like another, even in, American, bad guys, villains, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Half of some of the episodes or parts of movies are villains going through their entire plot of what they're doing and why they're doing it and who they are. And One Punch Man's just going like, I'm going to destroy you. Yeah. You can shut up now. Like, no one cares about what you're saying.
No one cares what you're going to do. I'm about to stop you.
Yes.
Also, why was it a gorilla, though?
Because he was experimenting on all kinds of animals, right?
Oh, that's animals,
right.
Yeah.
It looked like he resembles Winston from Overwatch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he has a little antenna in his head. I love that. Cracked me up for some reason.
That reminded me of like Inspector Gadget when I watched it. I was like,
why would that be under his head?
Yeah, it's like they were like, we could give him a cell phone, but it'd be funnier if we put him a little like rotating satellite dish in his head. Yeah, it seems like they when they're building a character, they're just like, all right, let's start a base character. How can we make this as ridiculous as possible?
As ridiculous as possible. Let's name him Tank Top Tiger.
Yeah. So this is another hilarious point to what we just talked about how in Americanized stuff, there's just so much exposition where villains are just like, here's my plan, here's this, and this. And then, obviously things usually work out for the hero. But the guy in charge of this facility is like, here's what we're doing. Put all the traps on these levels, and these levels. And when he gets here, we'll see, blah, blah, and it just goes boom, and it's just gone. Like every bit of work that he had done to try to protect his base is vanished in a split second by the sidekick. Luckily, they look on the ground. There's a basement. They go in there, and just so happens there's a giant training grounds where they can fight.
Where they can fight. Yeah. Like, okay, here's for our convenience, so we can just fight here.
And that's what I liked about this episode. Instead of I loved the first episode, but I liked that this one was different in the sense that, and with all 3 episodes you gave us, each one was completely different in the kind of storytelling that was going on. So the first one obviously is like setups for what you're going for with the series and who the character is. This one was more reminiscent to a Dragon Ball episode for me because there are elongated fight scenes because of his sidekick and him toying with the villain. So that's what I really liked about this one.
And you're like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna win, but also maybe not.
They give you a hint of
they give you a little bit, and then it's like, all right, I'm just gonna punch him out.
Yeah, and I liked that too because it really showed off how great the animation is for the fight scenes specifically.
I love the big villain having like a panic attack because he's about to come down and like crush One Punch Man, and then he's like, wait, he's not even panicking. That must mean he's even stronger.
That must mean he's even stronger.
That's what I'm saying about this world that they live in this like fictional Japan is like every monster or villain seems to only care about scaring people or killing people that are afraid of them. Where when anytime someone shows them no respect or regard, like I don't care what you're doing, it's the most offended they could ever be as villains.
Yeah, they all got into it for like Instagram likes.
Yeah,
villains and
basically
the
they're like, all
they're all
right,
doing it for attention. They're like YouTube
we're here
pranksters.
for attention.
If no one cared about YouTube pranksters, they'd all go away into the corners of.
Please stop caring about YouTube pranksters.
Yeah, nobody knew about Jake Paul until he destroyed a house in West Hollywood, or till Logan found that body.
Yeah.
So the real villains,
had no idea.
The real life villains, like the Paul brothers, we just got to ignore them.
Yeah.
They'll go away.
Good luck.
Yeah.
There was multiple times where I thought Genos was dead. Because for me, this was the first episode he appeared in. So at this point, I'm conditioned to assume all new characters are going to die.
Genos, he stays around. He sticks around.
He got smashed in that hallway, and I'm like, oh, okay, so he's dead.
Yeah, he gets beaten up.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, and he got pretty messed up.
Because he's technically one of the strongest, like besides One Punch. He's technically one of the strongest, but however, he's extremely inexperienced.
Yeah.
And he's very headstrong. He's just trying to prove himself. and he rushes into things without thinking.
Yeah.
Head first.
Whereas Saitama One Punch Man, he's very calculated when you think about it. He fights and he analyzes the fight as he's fighting. Mm-hmm. So he'll update his fighting style and stuff. He's like, all right, well, can't do this, so I'll do this.
Yeah, but it's done in such a nonchalant way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
because
he's just like, oh, this is what he's gonna do.
this is what he's
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. It was a. I was actually like thinking that was gonna happen too, because he like gives that one final like, whoop, and then his hair just goes like that, which was funny. And then he's like, all right, I'll take care of this, and it all plays out like that. But I added in here, by the way, that every music cue is awesome. Anytime a music cue hits up where it's like just
like the little commercial transitions.
Yeah. But what we were talking about earlier about how he kind of only finishes something when there's something else he has to do.
Something else he has to do. Yeah.
That sale to get to.
He destroys this beast because he's
grocery
upset.
store's
He's like,
about to
wait a
close.
second. It says he'll be like this for a week. A week from now is Saturday.
Yeah.
Today's Saturday. Saturday's the sale. And so he just fucking destroys this dude because he interrupted a potential sale at a grocery store.
He's extremely cheap. So he goes to the grocery store. He's like,
But you say he gets a job. Does he become more spendy as
Nope.
Okay.
He's extremely
Class C.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's just get right into that. I love the
episode
episode 5.
I had to put that episode.
That was my
in there.
favorite one because I just love shit like that where like I had a lot of questions about this world going into it, especially in like the first episode, and this one answered a lot of those with like the whole superhero association, and like the test and the different levels, which is that part's very Japanese, just like the bureaucracy and the exams and everything like
there's
that.
There's a written exam, there's a physical exam.
He failed the essay.
He failed the essay. He got like a 20-something on the essay.
Which like what they never reveal what the essay questions were.
No.
But it was probably like
It's about emotional intelligence.
it was probably about like what makes you a hero or something.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty good at punching.
I just want to do this.
I just punch people. It's fine. And they're like,
Give me a job, please.
But then they're like, all right, are you ready for the physical challenge?
And
he ruins their entire facility.
Yeah, he broke every record.
Yeah.
Including whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole.
Which they're just like running, jumping, lifting, whack-a-mole.
It's reaction.
Hand-eye coordination, too.
Yeah.
So
Reaction time.
it took me a while to figure out, like, why is whack-a-mole there? But it's hilarious.
He might encounter a villain that's like a bunch of small moles coming out of holes.
And like everybody's making fun of him because he's so skinny and lean and stuff.
He really shows
he's
them.
shorter than people, so he's like, all right, side to side steps, 30 seconds, and he just wipes the floor with everybody.
Yeah, the show has a great message on so many points. Like as a parents are always worried about cartoons giving off the wrong like bad ideas and stuff like that. This show, every lesson that's learned is positive, or everything you can take away from One
Solve
Punch
your
Man,
problems with your fist.
except for the fact that he's kind of a nihilist.
Yeah. I mean,
He's apathetic. When he's not fighting, he seems like he'd be lazy, because he does seem like a lazy person.
I'll give you I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'll give you another potential interpretation of this that is not as great. I think he might appeal to a lot of people who see themselves as having a lot of potential, but who are way too lazy to actually like do anything about it. Like I mean, like in school, I was always good at like tests and shit, but like way too lazy to do homework and shit like that.
Me too.
Yeah,
I hated homework.
Like I could see like really loving this character when I was like 15. Be like, just like him.
I'm
like,
smart. I just choose to be lazy.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, but it does send a lot of good messages, except for that kind of sense of it. But yeah, that was another thing that I got from this, where it's just like, hey, if you're good at what you do, it doesn't matter what you look like or who you are or what like economic, like where you stand in any kind of like social circle. If you're good at what you do, that's all that matters, because people will realize once you show them that you're good at that. So it's that's also a positive message too. Is it's just like, why would you give a shit about what anyone thinks? These guys are laughing at One Punch Man, and then he just does one thing, and they're like, what?
Right? Yeah.
He's not even that upset about being classified as a Class C.
He was like, okay, I'm in.
He didn't really understand what it meant. He was just like, oh, I can do this now and not be arrested or anything like that. I can.
Like
so that's a
he should have
question I
been
have.
like pissed that he wasn't
He probably didn't even know. That's the thing is he's lazy enough to not even know what the rating is.
If he wants the money.
Yeah, if he would have known, he probably would have done better. But like he's just like, yeah, whatever.
Well, it makes sense for the character because like it seems like everything except for punching people is him just getting by.
Right.
And like a C is like, I got in. What else? What do you like? Why would I do the extra effort?
Yeah.
When I can just do the bare minimum and get
in.
Yeah. So maybe he's not a good role model.
And he could work, and they can always work up to like class S, which is the highest class.
Yeah.
So
See, that was confusing at first, but then like 15 minutes later, they're like, "Here's the levels and what they mean."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay." So I wrote down also. So apparently with this episode, heroes are so typical that they have different classes and ranks.
There's a lot of people signing up for those exams too.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a stadium.
Yeah. Who does the show ever go into, or the manga ever go into? Other heroes that exist in the world that are even close to be able to compare to his skill?
No, like everybody else pretty much.
But are there named heroes that appear?
There are named heroes that appear in like other episodes throughout the show, and they interact with him, and everyone's trying to figure out how is he this strong?
Yeah.
And why don't you care about all this fame and stuff that we have? Because some of them are just like, oh, okay, yeah, we're famous, but you know, when the real shit comes, I don't know if I can curse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just I've been trying not to because I didn't know.
Oh,
But no, when real shit comes around, he's just like everyone else is like, oh no, I don't know what to do, and he's like, I'll punch it away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there is a nod to that at the end of this episode where it shows, like I said, I haven't seen any episodes past this, but it's foreshadowing to the point where the people who are actually Class S superheroes are ultra famous.
Yeah.
Ultra famous.
So the guy that
Super
comes in
famous.
as a Class A, blue-haired man.
Oh, he's Class A?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's number one in Class A.
Yeah, but still, even there, he's
He's
that
got
guy.
fangirls that they want to shake his hand. Like,
Yeah, they want to shake.
Yeah.
Well, they want to shake what's his name's hand just because they've met him or he talked to him or something like that.
But
is that something that plays out later in the series?
plays out like
where there are people like, oh my god.
Yeah, people that have out signs and stuff, and like as like One Punch Man, he gets more popular with people because now people are seeing what he does and stuff. But like, and now he's actually taking credit for the work because at first he would just go away and no one would be like, why aren't you taking credit for the things that you do? And he's like,
Yeah. Hey, that problem was solved, huh?
Yeah.
Guess it must have worked itself out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
did they ever reveal that blue-haired guy's powers? Because he walks into the restaurant, but like he doesn't actually.
Yeah, but he does the fight.
No, that was a different guy. That was Sneck.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because he has a snake arms.
No one, don't step on Sneck.
Yeah. Don't tread on me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He got told a lesson.
They never really revealed his powers. It's like another guy. He had like an old timey mustache and stuff, and he just basically had a sword.
Yeah. His power is judging people.
Yeah.
That's the
power of snobbery.
Going off of that, so it looks like everyone wants to be a hero.
Yeah.
Because it's a fame thing.
That's the fame thing.
Yeah. Is it people just trying to be a hero, or are there other superhumans with powers?
A little bit of both.
Okay, because they have the snake hand guy.
Yeah.
But like your Joe Schmo off the street who's trying to get qualified for this.
Right.
I would assume that 90% of them are just like, I'm gonna put on some spandex.
Yeah.
Go down there and like try to be like a WWE villain.
There's a guy during the test next to One Punch. He has on like a luchador mask.
Yeah.
And you see him leaving out after like he's like, oh, I can't compete with that. Like,
yeah. Well, then it's good.
Like,
they have a system to weed out the
so
heroes.
like technically in that world, anybody can apply.
Yeah.
But only the truly talented or truly powerful or both will make it through.
Do we ever see conflict further in the episodes within that?
And that's a huge part of this series. That's the conflict. It does not fall upon One Punch. All of it is taken away because there's no conflict if you can just beat everything with one hand. That's why a lot of episodes where you don't really see him that much. They focus on like other characters, the villains or anything like that, because at some point, and eventually at some point, he's gonna come in and just punch him and then it's done.
Yeah.
Well, because it is. I mean, like it's kind of meta that like a one punch like kill that would get really boring. For the viewer,
and it's boring to him
like,
too.
Yeah, like no one wants to just keep seeing that over again. So you gotta.
And I even wrote that.
Funner things.
I wrote sort of that down because it dealt with his sidekick too. Is it looks like the real conflict will come from One Punch Man's friendships or relationships, maybe competition.
His relationships, that's the conflict, because like in combat, there's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But,
so that's like a reason they have to get really creative with the storylines.
Exactly.
Because when you have something that's the ultimate, it's hard to write. It's like, oh, he's gonna fight again, big deal. Yeah, another thing I wrote down was like everyone is constantly humbled by him, and it affects them so much, but it means almost nothing to him.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of that in this episode. And one of my favorite things was we got to see one of my favorite tropes in anime, having only watched basically 2 animes in my life, anime eating.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they didn't show the active eating of it, which I was very disappointed in that.
They showed, Dragon Ball shows a lot of eating.
Yeah.
A lot of just...
And I've heard it's like that with other animes too, where it's like eating is like a huge
anime
thing.
Food looks so awesome too.
Yeah.
Anime food looks delicious.
I think it's a Japanese like cultural thing, like like parents tell their kids to like take their time eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the opposite is true in a lot of Asia.
Yeah, it's rebellious.
Like, eat as fucking fast as you can.
Yeah. So they went to the udon noodle eating contest or something.
Yeah.
They're just having buckets of it, so you realize that they are doing the anime eating.
Right.
You don't see like the active like shoving it down their throats.
You see the aftermath though, when he has noodles coming out of his nose.
That's his weakness.
Yeah,
food is his weakness.
Food is his weakness.
Because he was like comatose.
Yeah.
After that, so that's what's scary about the other guy coming in is he's now witnessed One Punch Man being defeated by udon noodles.
Yeah.
And I'm probably reading way too into this.
Way too.
Because we haven't seen
I'm not
any
gonna
of the
spoil
other
it for
episodes.
but you gotta check out some more of the episodes.
I will.
The show is funny. It's animated like beautifully. It's the music is great. The characters are cool. Like the characters that they keep around.
In my notes, I probably said I love it, or this is badass, or awesome, or whatever. Like throughout the entire thing I just kept stopping and going, this is the best anime I've ever seen. I've watched a couple of episodes of
out of the 2 I've seen.
I've watched a couple episodes of Devilman Crybaby, which is I stopped watching it so we could do it for the show later on.
Okay.
And that was the most intense one that I've seen.
That's intense. Yeah. Devilman Crybaby.
But this I was laughing. I was enjoying the fights. Like everything was perfect with this. It was really, really great.
Yeah. Once I figured out what the general like sort of concept was, which didn't take long, I was like, oh, this is actually like a really fucking clever idea.
Yeah.
Like this is and it reminded me of stuff like The Tick and like Hancock and
for the people who created it, I don't know how like deep into their backstory but like was this when it came out as a manga a direct reaction to anything in the anime community, or was it I want to take the biggest tropes from anime and turn it into its own?
That's what he's like. I want to just take everything in and then just make my own story from it and just pay tribute to the things that came before and just make something new from it.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be hilarious because like a lot of superheroes, like people compare One Punch Man to Superman sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Superman has always been like painted out as being just perfect.
Yeah.
You know, you can't beat him. He knows you can't beat him.
Well, they have kryptonite, which I think udon noodles is the kryptonite for One Punch Man.
But then it's like now, and this was created at a time where in the storyline, the comics, they changed it since then. But around the time when One Punch Man came out, it was announced that Superman had become immune to kryptonite because of just small doses of exposure to it.
Great.
He's built up an immunity to it. So now he literally cannot be beat.
Yeah.
So they've changed that, but at the same time, you know, Superman's been out for 1,000,000 years now. They just had Action Comics 1000 come out.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
And you know, you need something else. And he's still happy about being a superhero. Where you get One Punch Man, who's completely frustrated with everything because nothing's challenging. And when you don't have anything to challenge you, you know.
But that's the thing. The difference with Superman is that Superman is here, depending on what you read or have seen, to protect Earth from people that are coming in from all over the universe. One Punch Man seems like he doesn't care about protecting people. He's very reactionary in everything. Like, he won't seek it out unless it's disturbing his life or just happens to happen right in front of him. Like when someone caves in his apartment and he's like, my home! and then he's like, now I have to fight.
He's like, oh, I guess I gotta fight someone broke my apartment.
It's like an animal where they're like, listen, just leave him alone. Like,
leave him alone.
If you're like going by you're like canoeing by and there's a bunch of alligators. It's like, listen, the
just
alligators
don't
are
touch
lazy. Just don't touch them. But if you go over there and you're like, hey, look at all these baby alligators, then you're gonna get eaten. Yeah, and that's what he feels like instead of like Superman, who's like, I love banging Lois Lane. Great, she's great. Got some cool friends. Got a job. Everything's going great for Superman. But in the meantime, I also have to protect all these people because of outside forces. Whereas One Punch Man is like, I can't get a job. I'm poor. The only thing that makes me happy is eating. And now I have the ability to destroy things, but I seemingly only do it when they annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really apathetic about that.
Because he, like I said, it's hard to not go past talking about episode 3 because we haven't seen it, but once he realizes there's money in it, then it's like, oh, well, I have a reason
he has
to
a
do it.
motivation now. Yeah, there's money in it because he's not looking for the fame at all. He's just like, oh, money.
Yeah.
My whole point was 3 years ago was trying to find a job. Yeah. Now I got one.
Yeah, he seems like a real A to B person.
Yeah.
But there's some good things that you can model your life after with One Punch Man, but also try not to be just lazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say if we're gonna say see it or miss it, I'd
definitely
say
see it.
Definitely see it.
It's on Netflix, Hulu.
For the anime illiterate, I think you'd enjoy this.
I think, and I know I know a lot of people are going to be upset with us for jumping straight into One Punch Man without going through a bunch of other animes first. But I think this is a great entryway. For people who don't enjoy anime to come into, because if you enjoy this, you'll want to go back and look at the things that inspire you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we did get 2 suggestions for things to watch after this, and I want to see if they make sense to you. Berserk.
Oh yeah.
So how does that relate to One Punch Man?
Berserk is I haven't seen it yet, but that's been recommended to me as well. Berserk is the animation is kind of similar to it, which gets me in, with like anime, because since I do watch like the subs, I need something visual to look at. Yeah. I can't watch like shitty animation and then like still have to pay attention to it. I'll zone out. But pretty much all I've been told from Berserk was just like, if you like One Punch Man, you like Berserk. I'm like, okay.
I can only assume it's a more serious version of One Punch Man.
Yeah, another one, My Hero Academia is...
A lot of people recommended that
It's another one, because that one, it's kind of like when they take the superhero test, that episode. But My Hero Academia is kids with powers at school. Okay. And they're learning how to use... It's like X-Men and One Punch Man kind of put together, kind of like that.
Okay. So it's like...
But it focused on like the school portion of it,
that's cool. The other one was Mob Psycho.
I've not heard of that.
Yeah, that was another suggestion.
What would you say is the most like inaccessible anime you've ever seen? Like something that would just
you have to be
the most confusing thing to just walk into with no prior knowledge.
I feel like Full Metal Alchemist would be like that for me, or Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, because there's so many episodes.
So that's the thing. It's like a lengthy.
Cowboy Bebop. There's one. It's not confusing to get into. However, it's one of those where you have to be invested in it. It's a very old one, and I love it. It's called Ronin Warriors.
Okay.
That one only had like 1 or 2 seasons, and it ended on such a cliffhanger.
Oh.
And
did they just stop doing it?
They just stopped doing it, and it was just like a really, really good show, really good storyline, and all that stuff. But it has like all the samurai motifs. They had like little touched on Egyptian mythology in it and stuff. There's a white tiger, just hanging about.
That's the thing is with Cowboy Bebop, I have no idea what the hell it is.
Cowboy Bebop, I tried to get into it, and it's like after a couple episodes, I was like, I have no idea what's happening yet.
And that's what it was like that with years ago. I tried Full Metal Alchemist because it was on Adult Swim after Adult Swim was done.
Yeah,
like for the night.
What did they call that? Toonami?
I don't know if it was during Toonami, but.
No, it was Adult Swim.
It might still have been Adult Swim.
Yeah, because this is like 2006
Toonami was the
7.
afternoon when I was a kid many years ago.
Yeah, it was the late night Adult Swim.
Okay.
And it was like 2007 or 8. It was somewhere around there. But I remember like my friend tried to get me to watch Full Metal Alchemist, and I was like, dude, this is the most confusing thing I've ever seen in my life. I have no idea what's going on. It's like way too deep. It's something that, like, all of these I want to start from the beginning, and I think we will for the most part, aside from jumping around to different episodes. But, yeah, that seems pretty intense. Whereas this one, you should go watch. It's one season.
It's one
Go
season.
watch it.
And you don't
right
need
now.
any of that Crunchyroll shit. It's on Hulu and Netflix.
And like back to what you were saying about like how this can get you into other things. It's kind of like this is a greatest hits album from a band, and when you hear something that you like,
Want to hear the B-side?
yeah, it's like when I was in high school. I was at home sick, and Behind the Music was on. That's how old I am. Behind the Music was on, and it was like a Bon Jovi, and I like Bon Jovi now. I bought their I bought their greatest hits album, and like, oh, I like this song. Let me get that album. Yeah. Oh, I like this song. Let me get that album. You know, it's like that because it does pay tribute to a lot of different animes in it. Like you'll see things from Attack on Titan. You'll see things from like Dragon Ball. So you can go pick and choose of the things that you like and go check those out.
And
too.
it's almost like
It's a gateway drug.
This is a weird comparison to make, but it's kind of like how the guys behind Stranger Things learned what they loved growing up and then made something for a new generation out of everything that they loved and did it the right way instead of just doing pointless nostalgia bait.
Right.
Where it feels like and I don't know who it is, but the person behind this probably grew up watching Dragon Ball in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that and was like, after decades of loving this, I'm going to create something out of love that is as good or better.
Because like truth be told, like most things, all roads kind of lead to Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball is like the most popular anime in America.
It's like The Simpsons for America.
Goku is an Olympic mascot. Like from when the Olympics go
Eating.
back to Tokyo, he is one of the official Olympic mascots.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the eating competition.
He's their most internationally recognized symbol outside of like Godzilla.
Right.
I know, Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Oh yeah, shit. Man, Japan's got so much.
Does Hello Kitty have an actual show, or is it just a character?
I think it's just a character.
It's just on like pencil cases.
Like
and
yeah,
shit.
it's like pencil. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I never even thought
In a
of that.
store at Universal.
Yeah.
But
that's like I asked the
Just
question
like how
today.
the cats work.
It was like, is Pokemon an anime? And of course, technically it is. But even that got people like arguing in the replies on Twitter. It was just like, oh, it's not really considered anime, although it is, and blah blah blah. And it was just like,
it's an
but
anime.
that came from that was a game first, and then they wrote something off of it, which I think is
so.
Yeah,
I think so.
well, we
But
need to
it
get
originated in Japan, and it has a lot of those same sort of like tropes to it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like the animation is kind of the same and all
Yeah.
that. So
yeah,
like,
it's just like for kids. This is a kids
Like,
anime.
Weird ass creatures in it.
like I'm sorry, dudes, but
It is.
Pokemon is indeed an anime.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon is an anime.
It was just people in the replies just going, by its very definition, yes, it is an anime.
Yeah.
And then people would be like, that's like saying when someone asks you what your favorite steak is, you say hamburger.
No, that's not even. That doesn't make sense at all.
I'm seeing a lot of parallels between like the anime community and like the metal community.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
like they're definitions are.
Don't bring up hair bands in a metal community conversation.
Well, that's not metal.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
White
it
Snake. I love White Snake. They're my favorite hard metal band.
This guy doesn't even know what metal is.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I don't have to listen to raw, raw, raw. I'm like, dude, ain't nothing but a good time.
Nothing
was
I like.
metal.
Yeah. Nothing like putting on some Dimmu Borgir and then switching over to Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's room for.
There's room.
The
for
a
anime
lot of
community is
things.
tearing itself apart.
Dude, the
damn it.
anime community is some great parts in it, and there's some very dark and horrendous.
I guarantee
parts
you,
of it.
looking down in the comments section below this video,
We're just getting all
you're going to
sides.
see the best
yeah.
of both worlds.
Oh yeah, because it's like I'm not good on names and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't come with notes, so I'm gonna be ripped
Your
apart.
credentials are going to be questioned.
Oh, of course they are. I'm wearing a shirt, and he probably doesn't even know what it means. It means titties.
Yeah, and that's the shirt from the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who was wearing that?
I think One Punch Man.
Yeah, he has a sweatshirt that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing is like when we started off, it was just like, yeah, it'd be cool to get experts, but it's just like you can't even get someone who wrote the show.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, actually, what you really meant was
Yeah, it all starts with
Yeah.
actually. I'm
Yeah.
gonna write a book called Actually.
And
Like,
it's the culmination of human experience
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's
and knowledge in one book.
and it's something for the show and for everybody. Like, and I catch it from the anime community sometimes. I catch it from the cosplay community sometimes as well. Just the color of my skin gives me a lot of crap, and I'm like, dude, black people love anime. We
Yeah.
love it, dude. Like,
I didn't even know, like, I wasn't really aware of how popular Dragon Ball Z was at all until I started seeing memes of it on like Black Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like,
Yeah,
oh
then, like,
fuck, this
what
is
was,
a
like-
whole thing I had no idea.
It was
Yeah.
recently Michael B. Jordan came out and was talking about how he loves anime, and he was talking about, it's like, yeah, I like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, and they're like, oh, well, that's basic level, and then he like dug down and like
Yeah.
showed the other stuff that he liked.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
dig a little deeper, and people are like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it like without going into the argument of it, like we obviously are the outside of that, but definitely saw through like Black Twitter the references to Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that are just prolific. Like
Yeah, tons of it.
yeah, and it's fucking hilarious.
'cause-
But
That and SpongeBob.
SpongeBob rep. I don't even watch SpongeBob, but I find those memes.
Yeah, I've probably watched more SpongeBob memes than SpongeBob the show.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Like I think I might have watched like 5 episodes of SpongeBob off the top of my head. They might have all been the same episode 5 times.
all the memes are from like 1 30-second
yeah,
clip.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's room for everybody in the community. Like
Yeah.
the anime community, like I said, I'm going to 2 anime conventions this year.
Yeah.
That I'm going to Anime X, which is my first time there, and I saw the pictures for that, and it looks insane.
Do you have a costume picked out?
I do Android 17 from Dragon Ball Z.
I know that one from the video game.
There you go. I do Adult Gohan as well, and I do One Punch Man.
Yeah. Yeah, he sent me a picture of his One Punch Man. It was great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I do One Punch Man, and that's pretty much all the anime related costumes that I have.
So that's what this show, the overarching theme of the show
Yeah.
is to face the gatekeepers of anime and look them straight in the eye and
and
say,
like-
if these 2 guys can get into anime, anybody can, so open up the gates.
What bothers me a lot about like the gatekeepers of anime is like they don't understand it. Like they're actually borrowing from someone else's culture.
Yeah.
You know, this is Japanese culture.
Yeah.
You know, most of the gatekeepers you may notice aren't Japanese. You know, like
And we've explained this before. It's just it's misconstrued because of the way that people act online, which is usually behind.
Right.
It's usually anonymous, and so they're very outspoken about it. But what it comes down to is when people are passionate about something that they think that they were the only ones, because the communities are so small when they're growing up, that they think they're the only ones that are experts about it and they love it that much. The passion ends up being a detriment to how they act with people who are trying to get into something.
because it's like if someone's like when you guys reach out to me like, hey, like we want to watch One Punch Man, I'm like, all right, cool, let me pick out some episodes and stuff. Like I love the show, so I want naturally I want you guys to like it too.
Yeah.
If you don't, that's fine too, you know.
Yeah,
but
it'd been
you
like
wanted
even
to-
it would have almost been not better, but it would have been funny if we came. We were like, well, we fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
I mean,
Yeah,
I was kind of hoping, like, I was sort of disappointed that I liked it so much. Because I was like, oh, man, I can't really, like, tear the shit out of this.
Because based on the list that we have of, and I think I have a list of 25 animes that people have requested we watch now, we're not going to like every single one.
No, yeah, and it's impossible to like every single like because I like anime. It's not a blanket term. I mean, I like all of it.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know, it's like when you go to the planetarium for a field trip, and your parents buy you a telescope. They're like, look, I just went on a field trip.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to look at space right now. You know.
But that's my worry is that like the first time that we don't like something, people are gonna destroy us for like you didn't understand it and blah blah blah, and it's just like, well, dude, like I know what I like. If I watch 3 episodes of something, I can get a good vibe on whether or not I'm gonna like it.
And you're allowed to not like things too.
I don't know. It's the internet. You can't.
Dude,
you don't like something.
Believe me, I know. Yeah. Like I saw Avengers. I'm gonna go see it again tonight. Some people aren't gonna like a lot of things that they see. I enjoyed those things.
Yeah.
You know, I can enjoy some of the dumbest movies ever that some people won't like. Or I can just completely hate on something that everybody likes.
Yeah,
it depends.
There's no love, hate, and just okay on the internet. It's either love or hate. There's no person that's just like, yeah, it's okay.
Like, I can take truly divisive things like the Justice League movie. There are things that I liked in that movie.
Yeah.
There are things that I completely hated in that movie. Like, he could have shaved that mustache. But he could have.
I think that was a power move from Paramount.
That was, I think
that
it
was like, yo, fuck you guys.
That was so distracting.
Well, our theory that he could have done was grow a beard.
Grow a beard.
Yeah.
Grow a beard.
Makes a lot of sense.
Do that. Superman had a beard at one point.
Just show like Alfred sprinkling Rogaine onto the
he was
onto
dead.
the coffin.
Superman, presumably, he had a beard in the first one when he was like working as a lumberjack or some shit.
Yeah.
He's been dead, but not really dead. He should come out with a giant beard and be like, I kind of like how this looks.
I guarantee you, instead of trying to figure out the problem, the two studios probably just kept arguing with each other.
Yeah.
And then
that's how it goes.
And then that's how it was. It was like, all right, we're still putting this out. We'll figure out a way to get around this.
They probably missed multiple days of shooting.
Just
arguing.
And
they're like, fine, just get him in here. We only have one day to do this because we've been arguing for 3 weeks straight.
Yeah. And like that kind of stuff, like the movie itself, like adding like my thing is with like let's go back to like Batman versus Superman. I knew that was going to be a bad movie before it came out. Here's why. They call it Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. If you have a movie called Batman versus Superman and you have to add a subtitle to it, you didn't make a good movie.
Yeah.
The name itself should sell you on the movie. But if you got to add a subtitle to it, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I never thought of that. But yeah, Batman.
Yeah, you have to keep explaining it to the audience.
Yeah, you have to keep No, Batman versus like if they ever had an Avengers versus X-Men movie, I guarantee you there would not be a subtitle.
Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah.
Dawn of, I don't even know what they would do.
Fight of the century.
Yeah, Fight of the century. Like, duh.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's like a tagline. Putting it in the fucking title.
The tagline is different.
Yeah.
Putting it in the title.
Taking off the title and put it under it on the poster. Problem solved.
Okay, I'm cool with that. Batman versus Superman.
We need to get rid of all these 70-year-old executives. Start moving in.
Yeah.
It'd be like if they called it The Dark Knight. Why so serious?
Yeah.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah. Right. Why so serious? Like, ugh.
I mean,
Batman.
The only reason they're calling it Avengers Infinity War is because there's been 2 other Avengers movies.
Yeah, and they don't want to go Avengers 3.
Yeah, that sounds lame.
Yeah.
They learned their lesson with Spider-Man.
Also, I'm pretty sure Infinity War is already
it's
in the comics.
It's a comic.
It's a comic. Yeah.
And it's like it's a reference.
So it's a reference to the comic as well, but at the same time, they've been building on to that for 10 years. They didn't just shove everybody.
Don't start with a subtitle.
They didn't shove everybody into a movie and then was just like, okay, care about these people now. Yeah. Like, no.
Jaws, the shark that eats people.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey there, kids, I got a movie name for you, all right? It's called Batman. He's the Dark Knight, and he's rising. Like, wait, that's
Batman, the superhero without powers.
Right? He's just
Nobody's going to see that
really
movie.
Rich.
Yeah.
No one's going to see that.
Yeah.
In fact, he says that exact line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could change the name to the 90s one to Batman, the goofy one.
Yeah. But like if you market it right, people go check it out.
Yeah.
And then again, you can let the fans decide whether or not they like it. Like Rotten Tomatoes has torn us apart as a community.
Oh yeah.
It really has.
Why are you checking Rotten Tomatoes still?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
it used to be you'd open up the local newspaper and see what your local critic had to say and then go, he's wrong, and go see it.
And like basically movie critics are just like you and me. We give our opinions on something.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean that opinion is like the gospel truth or anything like that. Sometimes you know you hit a home run with criticism on movies and stuff.
Well, that's the thing too, is it's like in the current atmosphere, it is a race to like the most clicks. So you like even if a movie is just okay, I feel like some critics will use it as a creative writing exercise to see how much incendiary, like angry, creative.
They know what they're doing.
Also, angry posts get more views than happy ones. Like if you completely shit on something, then more people are going to check that out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, well, this movie must
like rubbernecking took over the world.
I'm so mad I'm going to share this article on Facebook.
They can't make a good Fantastic Four movie. Yeah, they can. People just assume that things are bad.
They've only tried like 4 times. They'll get it right one of these times.
I mean, the Fantastic Four movies are...
They've made better movies out of worse ideas for characters. That's
absolutely.
For sure. Like, I don't think that Stretch Man is a very good superhero, but they could probably do something with it.
Like, these are characters made in the 60s, so people were just limited to their 19...
They're super campy.
They're like, what can he do? He can stretch.
Yeah.
I turn into a rock.
Do you need that glass of water over there?
Right.
Well, he's just like the Hulk, though, almost. He's just made of rock.
I mean, yeah. When originally both of them were like...
I hope Michael Chiklis comes back for that role.
Nah.
It's perfect.
Nah. Nah.
Well, we've gone too far off of anime.
Yeah.
But stay tuned for more episodes. We're also taking your suggestions, so leave them in the comments below what we should watch. Where can people find you and all your stuff?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Your Favorite Skinny Man. That's all one word. Twitter, Your Fave Skinny Man. That's URFAV Skinny Man.
We'll put links in the description
Please
as well.
do, because I probably spelled that shit wrong. Facebook, I'm on there as Aaron Powell. That's my full name. I have a very vulgar podcast called Aaron Explains the Universe, where I basically curse and talk about whatever's on my mind at that point. And I've been on hiatus. I'll be back this week recording because I've done so much cool shit this week I got to talk about.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I have all my links and stuff from there, and I travel around doing comedy. I go doing comic conventions and stuff, so check me out.
And then maybe after we get some episodes filmed, we'll jump back into One Punch Man.
Yeah.
And have you on again.
Once I watch a few bad ones, I'll be like, just
You gotta come in and explain
give me what
these
I
to
like
me.
again.
Now I
Yeah. All right, well,
Now
thank
I
you so
hate
much.
it. Thank you guys so much.
We'll have you back in when we finish the series.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. And for next season.
Yes.
Yeah.